Welcome to Totally Woman Podcast. Totally Woman is a bi-weekly podcast that uncovers essential health knowledge and highlights inspiring journeys that transforms women's lives. I'm your host, Rosemarie Crosdale, a licensed adult gerontology nurse practitioner, and this season we want to hear from you. Find us on Instagram at Totally Woman Pod to join our conversation. While we encourage you to listen to this podcast for health tips, it is not a substitute for a relationship with a primary care provider or clinic. Now let's get to today's episode. This is episode 8 of season 3. And, I am your host, Rosemarie Crosdale. By now, most of you know I'm a registered nurse. I'm also a nurse practitioner. And on this podcast, we deal with everything that relates to us as women. Women is my passion, talking about our bodies. I think our bodies are amazing. And just, navigating our way, delving into, issues that affect us both, our physical issues, health issues, emotional issues, whatever it is, sexual issues, nutrition, all of that stuff we cover here on this podcast. And I really, really want to just thank you all for just joining me on this journey. It's December. We're in December. I mean, it's unbelievable that, we're counting down, maybe like we have a couple more weeks to go before December is over, and it will be a new year if God is, merciful and grant us favor. And we're here to, experience the end of not only 2025, but the beginning of 2026. So ladies, I just really want to extend my appreciation and my gratitude for all of you who continue to follow me on all the major listening entities, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. I can't thank you enough for, the support that you have been giving me and you continue to give me. I also want to extend a special thank you to our guest. She was on our last episode, Dr. Patrice Powell, where she delved into issues concerning diabetes. She did a phenomenal job. And I want to thank everyone for checking that episode out. If you haven't listened to it as yet, you can go back and just, wherever you listen to your podcast, you can go back and listen to that episode. It was really awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Patrice, for joining me. And I hope you won't be a stranger to the Totally Woman family and you will continue to be with us and support us and maybe join us again on another episode in the future. And let us not forget, it's been several weeks now since my homeland of Jamaica suffered a major hurricane, Hurricane Melissa. Now that the dust has settled, we're finding, so many people are still in need of, basic supplies, basic necessities. And so many people have already donated and have supported in so many ways. We just want to say thank you to all, to all of those people who continue to support, to all of you who continue to give in your own way. We see people packing barrels, doing so many different things, not only just for their family, but, for other families who are in different communities or in their near communities as well. Just remember, guys, that you want to make sure that if you are sending donations, that you're actually vetting some of these places and making sure that they're legit so that your donations, your funds, your hardworking donations do not go in vain and they really get to the Jamaican people who are in need of it. So thank you again for that. And shout out to everyone who has just continued to support. Like I said, this is episode 8. I just want to welcome back everyone. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, to my new listeners. Welcome back to the ones, like I said, who have been with me on this journey and you continue to be with me. I am so glad that you're here. And, as we're stepping into the final days, not even the final, the final days, the final week, I just want to speak life into you for a moment, right? life comes in the form of speaking life into you in the form of, just encouraging you and trying to just uplift you because the holidays is not easy, right? It's not easy at all. If you are listening today, it means that you've made it. You've made it through the end of the month, right? It's December. You've made it through the end of the month. And in spite of all the different lessons, the challenges, you've made it. And I want you, ladies, I want you to give yourself credit for that. A lot of times we are so hard on ourselves, but I want you to give yourself credit for even getting to this, to the last month of the year, to already it's more than a week out already, and just to make it, just for making it to this, give yourself a high five, look in the mirror, pat yourself on the back. You're doing well. You're doing well. So give yourself credit for that. Sometimes we're so, quick to look at everything that is going wrong, right? We're so quick to look at those things. But even through everything, and I know it wasn't easy, we've all had our shares of ups and downs. We've had our share of, financial difficulties, whether it's, you lost your job, different things. Some of us are grieving. We still continue to grieve, new grief and old grief, right? There's no expiration, as I'm also learning through my grieving process as well, that there's no expiration on grieving, right? As long as we're trying to just grieve in a way that is, and sometimes I say healthy grieving, but there is such a thing, but you have to be able to get to that point where it becomes healthy for you, because grieving is not easy at all, and especially around the holidays when you've lost a loved one, a mother who has lost a child, a mother who's lost their mom, right? You've lost your dad, a sister, you've lost your brother, a friend, a godparent, someone who has just been there for you in your life. It could have been a friend, a mentor. You've lost that person. You've had a miscarriage, right? Different things like that. All of these things. You lost a relationship. Some of these are things that you've experienced throughout the year leading up until this month. And I just wanted you to just give yourself credit for where you are. You have to be grateful. Just give God thanks, because one of the things that have happened is that also you're in your right mind, right? God has kept you. He has kept me, right? I could have lost my mind, but He has kept you, and He has kept us in our right mind. And we keep showing up. Even with all the difficulties, you still keep showing up. You kept going on, even on the days that you weren't sure how. Right? You kept showing up for your family. You showed up for your friends. You showed up for your job, and you showed up for your responsibilities. But today, this moment, this space, right? This moment and this space right now, I just want to take the time to just encourage you. I want to encourage you. This episode is all about encouraging your heart, lifting your spirit, and reminding you that you're stronger than you think. Right? You are stronger than you think. And you are so deserving of everything. You're deserving of everything. You're worth it. You are worth it. And even if you have to keep telling yourself this, then you have to keep telling yourself this. So take a deep breath. Inhale. Yes. Inhale, hold it, and then just exhale, right? Relax your shoulders. And we're just going to go through this, and we're just going to just, have a conversation on how we continue to cope as we, navigate our way through the next few weeks that is left in this month, right? I know it hasn't been easy. But you have to, one of the things what we have to do is also, you have to give yourself permission to feel. Some of us have become so numb. Yeah, so numb. You become so numb. You've been through so much. It's like life just keep knocking you down. Every time you say that you try to get up, there goes something else again happening, right? So you have to give yourself permission to feel. If you are happy, embrace it. There's nothing wrong with being happy. Happy Your happiness is happiness is a state of mind. It is something that, you have to be able to just like attain, and, to be at a place where you're happy and you're content. If you're sad, you have to honor that sadness, right? It's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to grieve. If you're overwhelmed, because sometimes our situation causes us to be so overwhelmed, then you have to take a break. You have to take a break. You're not burden bearers, right? You have to take a break because there's only so much that you can do by yourself. I actually saw there was this thing. It was a friend of mine. She had it on her Instagram page, and it was of a woman, and it showed her with all these things, bags, you know, so many different things that she was carrying on her back, and it was all these things that she was carrying, and then she started to slouch over and stuff like that, because the weight of everything, the weight of where you are, the weight of feeling like, you're not making it, or, financially, there's so many hits that you have taken. You feel like you cannot take any other hits. The weight of life, everything like that, is just like it's wearing you down. So you're hunched over. And in a way, we just want you to be able to pause. You have to stop, take some of these things off of you. Relax, you have to take them off of your plate and try to deal with or prioritize in how you're going to be dealing with these things. Okay? Your feelings are valid. Your feelings are valid. Don't let anybody make you feel, less than. If you're grieving, if you lost somebody, like I lost my son in 2013, and you're still grieving, don't let anybody make you feel like, oh, it's been how many years and you're still grieving. No, you're still entitled to grieve, and you're still entitled, to have the feelings that you are feeling. But like I said, sometimes if you need help, because that's a lot of times what we fail to do, is that we fail to get help, right? We also have to try to set gentle boundaries, setting boundaries. Somebody invites you to something. Well, it's okay to say no. A lot of times we're like always feeling that we have to be, the yes person, or say yes. Sometimes I can be a yes person. You have to say yes to everything. No, you don't. There's certain things that right now, just to have your peace and just for your sanity, you have to set boundaries and set guidelines. It's not everything that you can go to. Sometimes it could be a monetary thing. Financially, your budget is tight, you can't afford it, right? You need some space, you need some quiet time for yourself. Take that time for yourself. So set boundaries without feeling guilty. Set boundaries without feeling guilty. This is an act of self-love, right? Because if you don't set these boundaries and everything, now you're gonna be operating from a place where it is just coming, you're just doing it to do it, right? You're just doing it to do it, and you're not even getting fulfilled by it, right? So we have to learn to set boundaries. You have to limit things that drain you. Certain things drain you. There are people around you. It can be so exhausting. You have your problems, they're coming with their problems emotionally. You don't owe anyone emotional burnout. Choose environments that makes you feel safe, environments that support you, right? People that support you, people that, will help to uplift you during your time, that you're not always the one, doing all the uplifting and the motivating, but someone is there who is also for you. Staying connected. This is very, very important. Staying connected. Some of us, you probably haven't spoken to family or friend in such a long time. You have to try to stay connected. And sometimes staying connected, it means that, you may have to forgive something that happened a long time ago, something that happened from your past that is preventing you from staying connected with someone who you had a good relationship with, right? Some of you have your parents, you have family you have not spoken to for a long time. The holidays have a way of just bringing everyone together. So stay connected, reach out, and not just texting. Sometimes I feel like, we've gotten to the point now where sometimes we're just texting, but just pick up a phone, hello, talk to someone. It makes so much of a difference. I'm not saying that texting is bad either, but sometimes just having that connection where you can hear the person's voice, those emotions you can actually speak, and just you put yourself, you feel vulnerable, and you can talk to the person, and now you can, better deal with that person, and deal with those emotions that you probably have been burdened yourself with for so long, because these things also can be burdensome, right? Also, practice small daily self-care. Like, small daily self-care. It could be something of just making sure that your feet are flat on the ground, just taking a seat and just taking some nice deep breaths. Breathe in. Just breathe in. And when I say breathe in, I mean this is intentional breathing, right? You're allowing yourself to inhale, take a breath in, take a deep breath, and then holding it, maybe counting to 5 or 10, and then exhaling. This can be so relaxing, right? So just breathing exercises, making yourself a nice cup of tea, giving yourself a bubble bath, doing something for yourself, just meditating, just having a space where you have like a little quiet space. It could be a little space in your house. It could be in the bathroom, because maybe you have a bunch of kids and everybody's there, and sometimes your only little hideaway is when you go to the bathroom, right? So just practicing these small daily self-care can just be a way of just helping you, navigate your way through the holidays, just to make it easier. And these are not only things these are practical things that you can do, not only during the holidays, but also just regular day-to-day things that you can do as well. Don't compare your holiday to anyone else's. Don't compare your holiday to anyone else's. I know we're in December now, and so many people are, like right after Thanksgiving, you are, even sometimes before Thanksgiving, you see decorations and people are decorating and doing different things like that. But if you have not yet started, okay, just take your time. If you're ready, you do that. Sometimes, I don't put up a tree, but even just putting, I have this wreath that someone made for me years ago, and it's a beautiful wreath. And that's one of the things that I do, is that I just put my wreath on my door, and that makes me feel like, I'm getting into the holidays. So just doing that. Don't look at other people. People are gonna, social media, right? Everything you're gonna see. You can't just go by all of these things, and then you're trying to keep up with the Joneses and all of these stuff. You cannot compare your holiday to anybody else's. Do your own thing. Go at your own pace. Create new ways, to do things, new tradition with you and your family, with you and your kids, with just you by yourself, right? Start something new, because sometimes it's just you alone. Even though you have your family, they may not be close to you, or they may not be around. So start doing different things, right? One of the biggest, and this is one of the biggest, I cannot talk about this enough, but just focusing on gratitude. Gratitude. This is so, so important, everyone. Ladies, this is very, very important. This is just one thing every day, right? That you are here, every day that you are alive. It's a day that you should be thankful for. You're in the land of the living. Lord, I'm just thanking you. Thank you for another day. Thank you for waking me up this morning. Thank you that I'm not in the hospital. Thank you that I have my eyes, I can see. Thank you, my nose, it can smell. My ears, I can hear, right? My mouth, I can speak. I have teeth that I can chew and eat, right? I'm able to go to the bathroom by myself. I can walk by myself. I just want to thank you. Thank you. It may seem like it's something so simple, but there are people right now in the hospital who are not able to move unless someone move them. Nobody's moving you, right? You can move yourself. You got up, you got in your car. If you have a car, you can drive, you can walk somewhere, you can go into the grocery store, you can buy something. Give God thanks for these things. Thank Him for your children. Thank Him for your family, for loved ones, right? for the people that you work with. Thank him for your job. We're living in sometimes in times now where people are losing their jobs. So just be thankful. It may just look as something so easy to you, so simple to you. Thank you that I can breathe, right? I can inhale and I can exhale. Just being thankful for that, right? These are things. So just having a heart of gratitude, a heart of thanksgiving. Be thankful. Being thankful. You cannot, I feel like you cannot be thankful enough. Like, I talk about and it's not only in Jamaica, but we talk about because now I can relate to that. So I talk about that and how people, the fact that you have a roof over your head, you have a warm bed that you can go into, you can lay down, you can cook something to eat. Some people, they've lost their houses, there's no roof. Some of them, they can't even go to the bathroom, they can't do different things, they don't have a bathroom no more. The regular ways that they used to do things, they can't do it anymore. So in everything, we ought to just give thanks. Just have that spirit of gratitude where you're just thankful and you're just thankful and when you have that spirit of gratitude and you're very thankful, then it will just spill over into everything else, right? Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. Like I said, give yourself grace for where you are, right? Give yourself grace for where you are. Like sometimes we are so hard on ourselves, but give yourself grace for where you are. Embrace where you are, right? You're right where you're supposed to be in the grand scheme of things. That's how I look at it sometimes. You're right where you're supposed to be, and whatever you have in your heart, whatever you feel like you should be doing, those things will be manifested in due season. So this is the season where you are. So you have to learn how to give yourself grace. Remember also that this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Just like with anything else, this too shall pass. So take it day by day. Day by day. Take it day by day. And with each day, you will develop a new energy. You will develop a new outlook on life. And then everything will just start moving into perspective. I know. Sometimes it's so much easier to just look at the doom and gloom because all you can see is just the negativity. What is not working. That's all you can see, what's not working. But in the grand scheme of things, let us just continue to have a heart of gratitude, right? No matter where you are during this holiday season, wherever you are in terms of even in your career, different things. Sometimes as the year now is coming to a close, as we're in December, this is where we're starting to look at our checklist and we're saying, and you're looking back at the past 11 months and you're looking where you are and what you have accomplished and some goals that you set and you feel like you didn't attain them, but we still have some more weeks to go. So in light of that, we can still say, okay, we can still try to see what we can get done and those goals that we can we can check off as the year progresses and as the year is coming to a close. So at the end of the day, like I said, just continue to give yourself grace, right? Remind yourself too that this too shall pass and you're right where you're supposed to be. I know, ladies, that one of the things, right, I always talk about, and when it comes to our health, now that the year is winding down and some of you still have not yet prioritized getting, your physical done and different things like that. Without your health, you're nothing, right? Without our health, we're nothing. So we want to make sure that we're taking the time to get our annual physical if you haven't done so as yet. I've spoken about some of the tests based on your ages that you should be getting done, right? Having getting your cholesterol checking for heart disease. We spoke about diabetes, different things like that. Getting vaccines. I know everything now, you hear so much, about how different vaccines are bad for you and this and everything like that. I'm not going to be forcing anyone or telling you, but there's certain milestone that you have to, be doing by certain ages, right? I talk about if you're in your 40s or if you have any issues, then, even getting your colonoscopies done, right? Different things like that. Checking for heart disease, getting your A1C levels checked, the blood work to do that. So different things. Your GYN appointments. Let's not forget about, for those of us who are in, our perimenopause and menopause, because this is the state that I find myself right now, right? Where your hormones are fluctuating, getting your thyroid levels checked, different things like that, getting your hormone levels checked, getting your mammograms done. Ladies, these are very important things. Having your pap smear, if you're 21 or older, then you need to have had a pap smear done already, right? Now the time frame for doing pap smear, it's not once a year anymore. You can do it if you have no issues, probably like every 3 years, but we have to prioritize these things. So prioritize your health, prioritize getting your physical done and your screenings done. Screenings, remember, ladies, are so important because we want to screen you before you actually get the disease. And once we are able to screen you, then we can rule out any issues. And then if we do screen you and some issues come up, then we'll know how to deal with them. Very, very important. So as we're counting down for these next few weeks in December, along with the little tips and nuggets that I've spoken about, making your health, getting your physicals, and getting prioritizing your health is optimal right now. So I want you ladies to please take these things very, very seriously as we count down to the next few weeks of ending this year, right? So these are things that I want you to definitely prioritize. And before we go, right, before we go today, I just want to give you some affirmations to just speak over yourself, to encourage yourself, right? And one of them, look in the mirror if you have to, right? I am worthy. Say that. I am worthy. I am becoming everything I was created to be. I am becoming everything I was created to be. I choose peace. I choose joy. I choose to honor myself. I release the things that drain me and I welcome the things that strengthen me. I am surrounded by love. I am surrounded by love and I am lifted by grace. These are some affirmations that I want you to speak over yourself. Speak life over yourself. There's a song that says sometimes you just have to encourage yourself. You have to speak life to yourself. So speak these affirmations over yourself until you also start to believe them, right? So as we're closing out, for the year, these are some of the things that I want you to say to yourself and to let it become a part of you. So another time, I am worthy. I am becoming everything I was created to be. I choose peace. I choose joy. I choose to honor myself. I release what drains me and I welcome what strengthens me. I am surrounded by love. I am surrounded by love and I am lifted by grace. I am surrounded by love and I am lifted by grace. So, ladies, it was indeed a pleasure talking with you today. And I hope that, as the rest of the week in December, and they're going by very fast. I hope that today, that when you listen to this podcast, that you were encouraged, that wherever you are, that you know that you are where you are, right where you are supposed to be. You're doing the best you can. Pat yourself on the back and don't be too hard on yourself. Okay? Yes. Wherever you are, wherever you find yourself, just be Enjoy in that moment where you are, and don't try to make yourself feel guilty for where you are, even though you may be thinking like, oh my God, it's December and I said I was going to do it and I haven't done it as yet. Well, write it down and try to get it done, right? Write it down and try to get it done. And you will be so surprised. Remember, gratitude, gratitude. Gratitude is so important. So, this is what I want you to take away from today. So, ladies, if no one has told you lately, I am proud of you, I am rooting for you, and you are stronger, more beautiful, more worthy than you even know. We're in this together. And remember the Totally Woman's motto: motivate, inspire, and uplift not just only yourself, but another woman. Until next time, walk good. Totally Women Podcast is hosted by Rosemarie Crosdale and powered by Indie Creative Podcasts.